to the cloud. Oh, there we go.
Right.
Okay. So how are you today?
I'm doing great. Let me get rid of this meeting recorded thing. Okay. Doing good. Very good. I'm constantly building my following and my exposure.
Oh, that's great. So I was watching your recording. One thing that stood out to me was that you're a comedian. You're a mental health comedian. I mean, do you associate with any other mental health comedians? I know there's probably not a lot out there, at least not out of the closet. I think probably all of them have something.
I'll have something going on with them. The only one is his name is David Granier. That's the only one. He's a stand-up comedian. He has his own organization called Stand Up for Mental Health, where he takes people that have mental health conditions and have them do their own stand-up comedy. And I started doing that, even though I did comedy before that. So I did that with him, and I just took off and started doing my own thing, Ran, and it's just been great. I know there's a lot of comedians. The difference is a lot of the comedians, I call it, they cover things up. Even right now, People Magazine, Howie Mandel has OCD and major depression, and he's always doing comedy, but he does that. I do it differently. I don't try to cover things up. I uncover like an onion. I uncover what's going on and use that humor, kind of like I have here, bipolar and gum. You know, have fun with your mental health. Don't make fun. Have fun. I have mental joy. You know, again, all these things. I talk about Patch Adams. I'm in the mental health field, doctor, because of one person only. It's because of Robin Williams. And when Robin Williams did what he did, or I call it suicide, took Robin Williams' life, and Lewy body dementia took Robin Williams' life, I lost it. I totally got unbelievably sick. And then I went into my 6th psychiatric hospital on October 16, 2014. And I came up with the 3 amigos of mental health while I was in a psychiatric hospital. Came up with the bipolar gum, call myself Bipolar no longer. Being very creative to make this workshop about many things, but especially to get rid of this terrible stigma of mental illness and get rid of the word illness. I don't like illness. I like mental health injury from my good friend Dr. Rob Kelly, or a mental health challenge, a mental health struggle, not really that, a mental health condition or challenges, and that I need to get rid of that stigma. And most importantly, doctor, it's all about how do you get people to deal with the denial that a lot of people are suffering with addiction, opioid use, and mental health conditions that haven't come out of the closet yet, the mental health closet or the addiction closet. And my job is to get them to get out and basically tell their story and say, you know what, there is something going on. I'm going to work on a recovery plan. And that's really what it's been about, acceptance and opening up. That's really what I try to do as well. And then the third thing is to tell your story, tell your struggles, tell that you're really going through a hard time. That's what I do at my workshop. I tell people, and then I have all the inspirational mental health stories that are great, basically of how I finally got and stayed mentally well. And I show people, I love this. I love what you do. I love psychiatrists, therapists. They're all, this is called the triangle. I got on the triangle. In 1999, after suffering for 25 years in silence with my mental health condition. And the triangle is you do a psychiatrist, meds, and a talker. In my case, it was a therapist. So you do the triangle, but that didn't get me to the promised land, doctor. It did not get me there until I started using this. The wellness tools from the wellness toolbox. That's what got me to get and stay mentally well. That's the key. Everybody gets better and then they get sick again. I call that, as you see, the ticking time bomb effect. You get better and then bang, you get sick again. You get a little better and bang, you get sick again. So I call it the ticking time bomb effect. And I went through that for over 40 years, suffered in silence with my mental health condition. I couldn't get it. until when I went into that psychiatric hospital, I made a decision. I want to be a spokesman, advocate, a comedian, and a speaker with passion that can really change people's lives for the better. And that I haven't looked back. So it's the wellness tools like meditation, deep breathing exercises, affirmations, creed, prayer, God, Bible, Jesus. I'm a Jewish man that believes in Jesus. So that's what I do. So what? So that's a
Yeah.
wellness tool. So, and then I use all these type of, wellness tools that I use. Like you can do affirmations. You have Wayne Dyer. There's so many inspirational movies like Patch Adams, like I said, or Good Will Hunting. Use books to read. You can laugh. You can smile. There's so many wellness tools I get people to use. But of course, doctor, the biggest wellness tool of them all is using humor, laughter, and smiles for your mental and physical health. And that's
Yeah.
really what it's doing. So I'm just with so much gratitude, without ego and humility and being humble, that I'm getting very, very successful. I'm getting there to be nationally known. And then I want to be worldly known, but it's not what you think. If you say I want to do this for the money, you're crazy. Huh, shouldn't say that in the mental health field, but you know what I mean. I'm
Yeah.
doing it so I have a bigger platform so I can help a hell of a lot more people when I am more successful, have more exposure and more fame, so I can connect with more people and do it my way. Now, and I always say this in my workshop, and I really mean this. Psychiatrists, therapists, people with PhD, MD, Masters of Social Work, nurse practitioners, all these people are so important for your recovery. To try to use these type of people, I did, but I also want to tell them that there is another type of resource like myself that's different, inspirational, humorous, but most importantly, I'm relatable. I'm a
Yeah.
relatable resource. I tried to take my life. So if anyone had suicide thoughts, I've had those, or an attempt, I had that. Or if you have a mental health condition for over 40 years, I can help people that are struggling right now, or they're struggling or trying to get them to come out, that are suffering in silence. And then the most important thing is really the people that are not suffering with a mental health condition. That's I'm trying to change that, to get them to what it tastes like and feels like to have a mental health condition. That's why it's called the three amigos of mental health. You're either suffering with your mental health condition, you're suffering in silence with your mental health condition, or you're not suffering at all. And the ones not suffering are the ones contributing to the stigma, because
Yeah.
don't want to know what it tastes like or feels like. They think everyone's violent. They see it on the news. Oh, another shooting. You got to have mental illness. Well, maybe it's just the fact that they're doing bad things. It's not just everything to deal with mental health. So that's just a
Yeah.
little bit of what I'm doing, and I'm really flattered, like, to be on your show. And everybody wants me on their shows, and it's great because I really
Yeah.
have a great story to tell.
One thing that stands out about how you told the story, and I heard this in watching an interview with you, that you had been through 40 years of quiet suffering, and then 15 years of going around trying to get help, going in different institutions, and and really going to ask for help, because you recommend people ask for help, but for a long time, maybe you weren't getting the help that you needed. But it seems like the thing that really worked for you, and the thing that you hear in some of these programs, like these 12-step programs that, and maybe they don't always come out and say it, but one of the cornerstones of a lot of these programs is service, giving back to people, helping other people who can then go and help other people and help other people. It seems like that fulfillment of providing service may be what really finally got through to really making you feel good and feel better about yourself.
100%. But the thing is, I had to get and stay mentally well first. If I couldn't get and stay mentally well, I couldn't do what I call it my God's work, this is what he's telling me to
Yeah.
do. And like you said, I use this phrase all the time now, is that I use all of my passion to give value to help others with their mental health, addiction, suicide thoughts, whatever's going on with you. And that's really, very important to do that. But like you said, I call myself Pro, and my last name is Bono. But the bottom line is, I don't want to do everything for pro bono. I do get paid for my speaking gigs as well, which is really good. So yeah, you're totally right about that. To me, when someone sees my video, and eventually I have my book that's going to be coming out, and eventually I want a movie of all movies dealing with my story. The movie's got to go out there. So when people read my book, see my videos, or see the movie that I do, or whatever that I'm dealing with regarding mental health, and they come back and say, "Wow, you just helped my son," or "You just helped my mother," or "That was great. I want to use that wellness tool." And that is what success is, doctor. It's That's success. It's not the money. I had all the money in the world. I had that. I call it. I have an ex-wife. She got half of my money. So I don't. It's not about the money. I just turned 750 months old. I know you need a calculator to check that out. That's 62 and a half. I'm 62 and a half years old. And right now, I wouldn't change a thing. Yes, people say, well, would you really want to suffer in silence for over 40 years? Yeah, because it got me to where now I'm an expert about mental health and addiction because I went through it. I'm a relatable resource, man. I want to deal with somebody that, hey, he got well and he stayed mentally well. What is he drinking? What is he, smoking? What is he using to get that? And it's really, like I said, the wellness toolbox, man. And there's so many. I keep adding more to the toolbox. But I always make this point. I'm not trying to take the jobs away from therapists and psychiatrists. I'm a little guy. I'm not doing that. I just want to be a different resource. And maybe, doctor, like I did, I was able to wean off some of my medicine. I only take a little bit of medicine. I see my psychiatrist every 3 months because I'm doing unbelievably great. I don't need a therapist. I am my own therapist, counselor, coach, peer support specialist. So that's just a little bit on that end, but yeah, I agree with what you said, definitely.
Yeah. Have you ever performed on like in a comedy club on stage other than just mental health
I
institutions?
was do I was doing it as two. First of all, I have a character. You might have seen that one. That's Mrs. Staying Alive.
Oh
So
yeah.
that's my character. She is a beauty. So before the pandemic, I was doing stand-up comedy as Michael Weitzman, bipolar no longer, and then I also did it as Mrs. Staying Alive. So I'm getting back to that when we start to get rid of the social distancing stuff. I
Oh
definitely
yeah.
want to do that. I auditioned 3 times, 3 years in a row for America's Got Talent as Mrs. Staying Alive, and I didn't get on. But I also just recently auditioned for Britain's Got Talent. I know Mrs. Staying Alive is going places because I tell Mrs. Staying Alive is Patch Adams meets Mrs. Dotfire, and she's all about what? She's all about my little tribute to the amazing Robin Williams. He's the reason I'm in the mental health field. And it's all about what? It's about getting rid of this terrible stigma of mental illness, which I don't like that word. And the other thing is, what is she about? To use humor as one of your biggest wellness tools. And I'm also about equality, equity, diversity, and inclusion for all type of people. So just because you have a mental health condition and somebody doesn't, he's not, the person that's suffering is not less of important to you just because they have something going on with them. So I really want to show that everybody is created equal, even if you have bipolar, even if you have schizophrenia, even if you have a disability, even if you're gay, this, that, we all are created equal. So that's my message in my workshop, and also, in my with Mrs. Staying Alive as well. So yeah, I hope it comes back. I want
Yeah.
to do more stand up, definitely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And Robin Williams. I mean, he's incredible. I mean, I was a fan all the way back to the beginning. Used to watch Mork and Mindy and Happy Days and all that, and obviously took off, Oscar-winning actor, comedian, and yeah, it was a tragedy. What happened. I don't think anyone in the public saw it coming. Although
Huh?
now, people now say, maybe, that's the face of depression. Not it's not necessarily someone going around saying they're sad, but depression may manifest differently than what people think depression should look like.
Well, I agree 100%. I think he's the one, like I said, he covered things up with his humor. I don't think he's
Yeah.
uncovering things like what I do. I uncover. Most comedians cover. Even Wayne
Yeah.
Brady. Wayne Brady's amazing. He does improv really good. He's on a show. Whose line is it anyway? And he's amazing. But Robin Williams, to me, was the most underrated actor out there. I really
Oh yeah.
believe he's, because they keep going back to his Mork and Mindy days, his all these movies that he's done, but he really is an underrated actor. But there's no one better than improv than Robin Williams. I see that beautiful
Oh yeah.
sky in the out there in Florida. You making me jealous.
Oh yeah. I'm at a park right by the beach. And
By the
just
beach,
kind of pacing around, not
you
to.
had to say that by the beach. You had to say that.
Yeah, the beach is right through there. Actually, yeah, some people walking through right now. Uh, it's hot out here though. It's really hot.
So I'll tell you, I just want to tell you what just happened. Really cool. My daughters suffered so much when I was sick. One of my daughters has ADHD. She's 23. I have another daughter that's 27, and they know what depression is all about. They know because I was there. I suffered in front of them, in their eyes. They know how bad I've been, but they also know how much I've worked for the last 6.5 years to get and stay mentally well, to be this spokesman, to be this advocate, to be this speaker, comedian. So, and they all know about Robin Williams is the reason I'm in the mental health field. They gave me the most amazing Father's Day present, Dr. Leeds. They gave me all these etchings, half faces of Robin Williams and all his stuff, like Aladdin, half a face of Good Will Hunting, his face for Patch Adams, his face for Mrs. Doubtfire, and Good Morning Vietnam. And then underneath, amazing note saying that keep knocking them dead regarding the mental health. You're rocking, man. Everybody, you're inspiring the whole world. You're doing such a good job. And this is just a reminder why you do what you do. So they get it as well, my daughters now, of what I'm trying to do. And that's the best present in the world. So I got that frame the other day. So the frame is more expensive than what they for the etchings, but I don't really care. Robin Williams is so important to me even now. I try to contact Zach, their son, Zelda. I send them stuff. I got some, likes, but I haven't really had a chance to talk to them. I would love to talk to them, and I would love to talk to his wife. I really would, because Lewy body dementia is what took Robin Williams' life. And I never say someone
Yeah.
committed suicide. I never say that. I say suicide took someone's life, or suicide. Lewy body dementia took Robin Williams' life. He couldn't be Robin anymore, and he didn't want to fight
Yeah.
it. And it's a shame. I don't like him doing that, but he could have been a great spokesman for Lewy body dementia, like a Michael J. Fox for Parkinson.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I recently heard a podcast interview with Jerry Seinfeld, and it was a good interview. But he, one good thing was he did come out and say he has depression, and he thinks maybe everybody in the comedy field does have depression. That's maybe part of the talent of being a comedian. The other side of that is that you probably suffer from anxiety and depression. Although maybe a negative thing that he said was that he chooses not to treat it, and that he knows a lot of comedians choose not to treat their depression because I guess they're afraid that it might take the edge off or something. Which is, that it's better to get treated. And I don't think that's true anyway, because I medically treat a lot of people for, addiction. And people say like, oh, why do you want to go on this medication? It's going to, you're going to be medicated all the time, which is not true. People are able to be very successful and get things done and function perfectly normally or even better than normal while on medical treatment.
Totally agree with what you said. No doubt. I didn't even know that with Seinfeld that Jerry opened up about that. I didn't know that because
Yeah, it was what's that? Yeah, what's that guy's name? The the 4 Hour Work Week guy, the guy that wrote that book. It was his podcast.
God,
Yeah, I can't think
I
of
don't
it.
know.
Yeah.
That's okay. If you
Uh,
find it not on this podcast, you remember just give me a shout out on LinkedIn or something. I would love to know that because
yeah,
I'm telling you, the comedy for me is what I do with the Three Amigos of Mental Health and my comedy. It's therapy. It's self-therapy. And like I said, I don't mind telling a homeless person that I suffered for over 40 years with my mental health. I'm that type of person will tell everyone. But there are a lot of people and there are a lot of comedians that don't want other people to know that they suffered or they're suffering. Again, that's all about that self-stigma that's even involved with that. God forbid, there's an organization called in California with Glenn Close. You know Glenn Close. You've heard her, right? Glenn Close, the
oh
actor.
yeah,
She has an organization called Bring Change to Mind because her sister has bipolar. And she goes Imagine if you got blamed for having cancer. Imagine if you got blamed for having cancer. In other words, why are we getting blamed for having a mental health condition or having an addiction or having opioid use or suicide thoughts or suicide attempts? That's ridiculous. We shouldn't be getting blamed. It's not our fault. It's don't feel shame. Don't be guilty. Don't feel guilt. And that's what I talk about in my workshop as well. You don't need to feel that way because it's strength that you're coming out to do something, to work on your recovery. And it's strength that you have other strengths inside your body. You aren't your diagnosis. My name isn't hi, my name is bipolar. No, it's not. Or I call myself bipolar. Get it? I separated.
Yeah.
I call myself bipolar no longer. So yeah, you aren't your diagnosis. And it's even Patch Adams. The same thing happened there. That movie has inspired me. I've watched it 7 times. I just watched it 3 days ago again because it's all about improving quality of life of people. How do you improve the quality of life? Mrs. Staying Alive came about. I was dancing at nursing homes and assisted living places. People that have dementia, people that have disabilities, people that just don't feel like laughing, they lost interest. And I get them to engage that audience with my dancing and everything going on. And that's what it's all about. How do you improve the quality of life of people, whatever's going on with them? If they have mental health conditions, disabilities, chronic illnesses, it doesn't make a difference. They deserve to have a quality of life, and we are all equal. And our society doesn't look at it that way unless you're up there in the food chain, whether you're successful with business, attorney, doctor, whatever. And then they all have that ego, and I don't like that word because Wayne Dyer says ego stands for edging God out. Ego.
Yeah. Yeah. When you mentioned Patch Adams, it reminds me of there's a doctor that she kind of stands up for depressed doctors, suicidal doctors. And, apparently that in some professions, there's higher rates of suicide than others. Dentists apparently kill themselves more often than other professions. Doctors, probably lawyers. But yeah,
Is that true? Doctors and lawyers do that?
Yeah, but doctors, one issue with doctors is that they often cover them up. The suicides are kind of swept under the rug. So this doctor Pamela Weibel, she's like kind of known as like the suicide representation doctor. She's actually described herself as being the Patch Adams of her field. In fact, I think she knew Patch Adams, and there's pictures of them together. But she kind of does that work representing doctors who feel suicidal can call her anytime, talk to her on the phone day or night. She'll go out and have vigils at the sites where a doctor killed themselves. Like there was a doctor that jumped off a building in New York at a New York residency at a hospital, and they just covered up the body and left it there, and nobody even acknowledged it, and they swept it under the rug. And she went out and had a vigil, invited everybody across the country that was in her contact list to come stand with her, have a candlelight vigil and say some words and whatever. And it was just unbelievable. Some of these things where and they shame these doctors. They tell them that you didn't take care of your patients, you neglected your patients, you neglected your practice, and not no concern about their mental health condition. In fact, they're encouraged to hide that, because if they reveal it, that could destroy their careers, which is probably true for a lot of people. But yeah, that seems to be a problem. People encouraged to just cover it up and hide it and not talk about it.
No, I totally. Well, do me. That's the second thing you have to send on LinkedIn with me. You have to give me her name as well. That you have your homework to do at the end. The one before, and then I definitely like to talk to her. No doubt about, because suicide in 1999, Doctor, was the 10th leading cause of death in the United States. Did you know that? Over 50,000.
I didn't know.
1,000 people died of suicide in 2019. I don't know what the figures are for 2020 because we had the pandemic, but I bet you any amount of money, because I know it's got to be over 50,000, because we had a lot more suicides because of the pandemic. We had a lot more addiction, a lot more opioid use problems. And in college, it's the second leading cause of death, suicide for college students. So it's a problem. It's a very big problem that needs to be talked about. And the problem is they're not talking about this regarding mental health in the schools. It should be taught elementary, junior high, high school, and college as a regular course. I mean, that's what I believe. And
Yeah.
they still don't feel it's sexy enough to talk about mental health. And that's why I'm hoping to advance that with as a spokesman and an advocate.
Yeah.
Is 1 out of 4 people, think about this, 1 out of 4 people in the United States has a diagnosis of a mental health condition. 1 out of 4. What about the
Wow.
other ones that are suffering in silence that haven't come out? They're not
Yeah.
telling their loved ones. They're not telling their wives. They're not telling their friends. God, what they're going to think. Oh, my ex-wife would say, if you take medicine, if you go into a psychiatric hospital, I'm going to divorce you. That's
Yeah.
how supportive she was, my ex-wife. And now she knows all about it. Took her a long time. We're not friends anymore. We're just civil, not civil, civil. But there's a lot of people that don't understand. They don't. I'm all about education and awareness for
Yeah.
everyone. Like I said, the three amigos. So if you're suffering, suffer in silence, or you're not suffering, I go mazel tov, good for you. But those people need to get the education. They need to get a taste of the bipolar gum. That's important to know, what it's like, so they can be more supportive and loving to the friends and family that are suffering. And the families do suffer. You know that the family suffers with the people that have an addiction or opioid use or have mental health conditions. The family needs to get involved together, be part of the recovery. Don't shame
Yeah.
them and don't feel that way. I'm trying to do that because all it is this. Here it is. I took it out of my head this morning just for you.
What about do you I don't know if do you know Frank King, the mental health he's another mental health comedian, but he's, I think, like the suicide comedian, or he talks about having a condition, a suicide condition, where suicide's always an option for him, and he's always got to fight that on a daily basis of dealing with that, of making that choice. And
Wow.
he says after he gives a performance that people come up to him and say, I've got the same thing. I never knew that was a thing, and you just talked about it, and I've been living with that in my head for years and never knew that, thought I wasn't normal and didn't know what to say or how to explain it.
Well, when I was sick for those 40 years on and off, I had that. There's no time. You know how many times I was driving in the road and then I see a pole over there and I just wanted
Yeah.
to close. I would close my eyes and I'll say, just ram into that pole. I've had many thoughts of suicide to do it when I was
Yeah.
suffering. I couldn't get mentally well. I couldn't. I tried. For me, I've been to 6 psychiatric hospitals. Okay, they opened up a frequent flyer program for me. I'm just kidding on that one. They didn't. But you look at me now. Look at Michael Weitzman. Bipolar no longer. Look at him. He looks hot. He's great. I've been to 6 psychiatric hospitals. I've had 22 ECT treatments. You sure know what
Yeah.
those are, when they shock the brain. I've had shingles on my face twice in 9 months. Very painful. It goes on one side. Also in 4 outpatient units and a suicide attempt on January 2nd, 2008. And that was the last time I would ever see my ex. Took a break. Unfortunately, I couldn't see my kids for a little bit until I got better in my recovery. But you can't judge a book by its cover. That's why I want people to know that. But I don't believe. But Michael, look at you now. But that's the point. It's the struggles. It's the struggles and the suffering that I went through that has made me a better person, a mentally ill person that's not mentally is now mentally well. That's what you want. You don't want to go mental. I call it. You don't want to go through mental hell. You want to be mentally well. That's really what you do.
Yeah.
I went through, what did I do during my recovery, and doing the triangle and then doing the wellness tools, having a backup plan. I tell people, most important, you need support. And I'm talking support around you or going to a support group. It doesn't matter. Being with other people that are suffering like you and you share your stories. Yeah, that's can be a big light bulb that can go off in your head and be helpful. But thank God I had my parents. Doctor, if I didn't have my parents, I wouldn't be here today. They were there for me from the beginning to the end, and they supported me no matter how many times I was angry at them or I yelled at them or I had all these symptoms. You know the symptoms of mental health: overreaction, being sad, lost interest, isolation, and I go on and on and on. I went through all those. Went through
Yeah.
all those. And I even went through all of this. And this is just partly it. Look at this.
What? Oh, what about that? What about the, like, now everyone's talking about psychedelic therapy for mental health and depression, and PTSD. They're using MDMA in studies, and ecstasy, and then they're using psilocybin and ketamine. I guess ketamine is actually currently approved as a nasal spray that psychiatrists are giving. Did you ever go through any of that, or do you know anyone who's done okay with that?
I've heard about it. I don't know much about the success rate regarding that. I'm not quite ready to put that in my wellness toolbox, to be
Yeah,
honest with you.
yeah,
I know I do DBT, EBT. Those are the things that are in my wellness toolbox.
yeah,
Keeping a positive attitude, inspirational stuff. My cat, I have a cat. That's a wellness tool. But regarding what you said regarding that, I don't know. It could be.
yeah.
I have to find out
But
more successes on that.
that's a good point, though. I mean, saying you have a toolbox, you've tried things over the years, you figured out what works for you, and there might be some stuff in your toolbox that works for other people. Some things might not work, or they might have a tool to share with you, and you're like, wow, that's a good one. I'm going to try that out. And that's a good reason for going around sharing these things. People can share different ideas and what works for them, and we can kind of build the toolbox up, and fill our box with even more tools. And you put that many more things between you and doing something you don't want to do, or having a problem. You just have that many more things to turn to and say, oh, let me try this, see if that works.
And I'm not trying to say, here, just do the wellness toolbox, do the wellness tools. You don't need to see a psychiatrist. You don't need to take your meds. You don't need to see a therapist. That's not what I'm saying. Absolutely not, because
Yeah.
I'm still on a program now. I do it with the triangle, as I said. Do the wellness tools, yoga. Wayne Dyer, I love him. A spiritual life coach. I started with that. I have a creed that I put together that is amazing. Whatever it is, these are the things that have got me to get and stay mentally well. I'm always adding more of these wellness tools. So I'm asking people to try them. Try them. Whatever you're doing now, try them. And maybe, right now, I'm being honest with you. I'm in, even though I accepted Jesus 10 years ago, even though I'm a Jewish guy, okay? Doesn't
Yeah.
matter. I go both ways in religion. Don't get the wrong idea. I go both ways in religion. But the thing is, right now, God and Jesus is right next to humor. Those are my three biggest wellness tools: God, Jesus, and humor. I don't go around, with the Bible in my hand. I'm not that religious, but I'm learning. And that's a wellness tool. I mean, like I said, you're doing yoga is a wellness tool. And I tell people the most important one that I love is affirmations. I've been doing
Yeah.
an affirmation for 6.5 years from my spiritual life coach. I'll give you one. I used to worry all the time. So know what I say in my shower for the last 6.5 years? Stop worrying as much as you can so you can be a much healthier man. Simple as that. And I used to overreact all the time. So I say, overreaction is not the way. Take a deep breath and have an amazing day. That turned into reality. It might sound corny to some people, but if you keep doing this every day in your shower, these affirmations become a reality in some cases, and they have for me. So, I just find a hobby: nutrition, volunteering, there's some music, incense, candles, all these different things. There's so many wellness tools, man. Reiki, you can do Reiki. You can read tarot cards. There's so many. Hypnosis, acupuncture. How can I go on and on and on? I send these lists to so many people to try these different things. Not to replace,
Yeah.
but maybe you can wean down the road.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's great. I mean, yeah, when you start putting all that stuff together, there's like a really huge list of things, and you can just go on and on. So that's really good. Do you have like a blog or a website where you like talk about these things and list them and go into detail about them?
No, I don't. I don't have a blog, and I haven't published my. The problem is I haven't published my website yet because I have so much to talk about. And if I do a
Yeah.
website, I don't want to make it so heavy. So I need to take the most important stuff in my and publish a website. I just sent out I sent out four amazing emails that has all my TV appearances, radio, great podcast for Dr. Rob Kelly. The last one I just did at the library that came out amazing. So I'm always sending all of my shows, TV, podcast, radios, webinars, conferences, and funny videos that I put together as well.
Yeah.
Because I was helping so many people during the pandemic because one of my biggest symptoms was isolation when I was sick with my mental health condition. You know how many people were going through isolation during the pandemic? It was everybody. So they were going through a hard time, and I know what that's like. So I'm just helping. I'm helping so many different people, but I'm telling you, man, I go into it in details about why you want to use humor and laughter and
Yeah.
smiles. That's the most important one. And I'll give you why you want to use humor, laughter, and smiles. First of all, you have the endorphins. The endorphins, that lifts your mood. It does. It lifts your mood. You have serotonin and dopamine that gets released out of your brain, just like the endorphins. That's that fuzzy, that's happiness feeling, reward experience when you listen to a joke and you laugh. It also boosts your immune system. Humor and laughter and smiles will boost your immune system. It reduces your the blood pressure. It's great for your heart. It boosts relationships. It
Yeah.
relaxes your whole body. Produces empathy. It's contagious. You start laughing. I start laughing. It's a way to success. It increases productivity. I want to speak to people at Amazon because 1 out of 4 people are suffering with a mental illness or mental health condition at Amazon. And what do you need? They need to have good productivity. If someone's suffering in silence, that's not going to help their productivity. So I can be of help. It improves your feeling of well being. And the most important reason, doctor, you want to have humor, laughter, and smiles? It will make you live a longer life. You know how I
Yeah.
know that? I Googled it. No, but seriously, a lot of the comedians like Mel Brooks is still 96 and George Burns lived to 100,
Oh
Bob
yeah.
Hope lived to 100. You got a lot of these comedians that lived a long time, and there's something
Yeah.
in there with comedy and humor. And do you know how many times a 4-year-old laughs and smiles during the day?
How many times?
300 and 400 times a day.
Oh
You know
wow.
how many times? Yep. You know how many times a 40-year-old laughs and smiles during the day?
I don't know, like 10, 20, I don't know.
Between 2 and 12 times. That's it.
Oh wow.
So what do you think? You need to have more humor, laughter, smiles. This nose is for Patch Adams. It's not for May 21st, Red Nose Day. It's for Patch Adams. There's a different thing. That's a different,
Yeah.
the day is for children, for certain things that are going on, different cause. This is because of Patch Adams. But I'm telling you, man, there's so many things. I go into, you see this? You know, Lay's potato chip. What's the Lay's?
Yeah.
What's the Lay's potato chip? What's their big slogan? What's Lay? Remember the slogan of Lay? You
I
just
should know, but
you
wait,
just
let me
can't
think.
have just one. You just
Oh
can't
yeah.
have just one. So I go, you just can't have just one psychiatrist, one type of therapist, or one type of medicine. It takes a long time to what? To find the right combination. I found the right combination 40 years later. I found the right psychiatrist, the right therapist, and the right medicine.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, if it doesn't work, it doesn't mean that it doesn't work. You just try again.
So
Oh wait, I think I got a bad signal.
much. So hold on
Wow.
a second. I don't know why it's saying. I got you down. So that's really my story about is that I really believe I have a gift, and my new slogan now is that you don't want the coronavirus, doctor. You don't want the coronavirus.
No.
You don't want the flu. You don't want any other type of virus. But you know what virus you do want? You want the Michael Weitzman, Bipolar no longer, Mrs. Staying Alive virus to go inside, be infectious and contagious in your body and your soul, so I can get you that passion, so I can help you with your mental health challenges, and so much more. So that's the virus I want. I'm not that Michael Weitzman virus.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. It's I mean, you're doing a lot of great stuff and giving us a lot of great ideas for things that people can try out. I love the idea of doing therapy for Amazon. Call up, and whether the person's in India or wherever, they say, "Hi, can I help you?" Instead of giving them a problem, give them a solution. Say, talk to me, tell me what's going on over there in the call center.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Um,
definitely. I mean, see this? You see this bobblehead dog? I made this in a
yeah,
psychiatric hospital. Yep, this is what got me better. No, it didn't. No, a bobblehead dog's not gonna get me better, but art therapy is a wellness tool, right? Doing
yeah,
art or art therapy, that's another wellness tool. So I just told people there's so many things that you can do, but I'm
yeah.
telling you,
Music
man,
therapy.
what?
Oh, music therapy, also music,
Oh,
art.
music is awesome. That's a wellness tool. Dancing is a wellness tool. I
Yeah,
dance. Might not look like it, but I do. I'm a damn good dancer. So, there's so many things that you can do. And I just want people to understand that whatever's going on, whatever going on with you, I always tell people the Beatles song and the Frozen song, let it be and let it go. Let it be and let it go. I have so many inspirational, motivational words that I say. I know God is telling me, you have a gift. You're going to go out there and you're going to help save some lives. You're going to help some lives. And that's what your purpose is. Yes, you will get famous and successful. But like I said, without ego, with all humility, and with humbleness, I'm going to be the same person, but a bigger platform, so I can help a lot more people by myself being a different and relatable type of resource in this field of mental health, addiction, and suicide thoughts, and so much more.
Well, Michael Weitzman, thank you. I'm looking forward to seeing more of you on stage, on television, all over the internet, social media, YouTube. And what's the best place that people can find you right now?
Best way is calling me at 914-523-5766. I'll say it again, 914-523-5766. And then email at mweitzman, and Weitzman spelled Weitzman, the number 3. So it's mweitzman3@gmail.com. They can check me out on YouTube, Michael Weitzman. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, and of course, my favorite one, LinkedIn, has been phenomenal. I get so many gigs and podcasts that I do and conferences from LinkedIn. I really, if you use it the right way, and I'm always posting stuff, as you're well aware. I'm always posting on LinkedIn, and that's been a great thing. So they can just get me there, and I will talk to them and I will help them because, and if they want, I have a deal with them. I will give them a free bipolar mint gum, and they'll also get. I have stress brains. I got 1,000 of these. Because when I do my seminars, which I'm starting to do now, and start to do seminars outside, I throw these brains in the audience. I throw the gum in the audience. I throw the mental joy in the audience. I throw lifesavers in the audience, and these are adults. They're like little kids running to grab the stuff I'm throwing in the audience. So if they do contact me and they give me their address, I can give them some stress brains and some bipolar mint gum. Of course,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you bipolar. You do know that. It's just I'm having fun with my mental health, not making fun, having fun.
You could tape a toothpick to each one of those brains, and then when you give them out, just say, tape a toothpick to the brain. And then when you give it out, you can say, pick my brain.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
I'll think about that one.
I'm not a comedian.
I know you're trying to be creative. I could think about that. You can pick my brain. It's definitely a good idea, but I don't have that. The slogan on it says the 3 amigos of mental health, and it has I'm endorsing myself, has my email and my phone number. But that's a good one. I could change that. Pick my brain, and I can put that right on top of it. Now you can pick my brain.
Who are the 3 amigos?
Excuse me?
The 3 amigos. Who are the 3 amigos?
The 3 amigos. You need to know. You're one of them. You are one of them. The 3 amigos of mental health is the first amigo is someone that is suffering with their mental health condition. The second amigo of mental health is someone that is suffering in silence and they haven't come out of the mental health closet or the addiction closet yet. And the third amigo of mental health is someone that's not suffering with their mental health condition. I say congratulations and mazel tov to you. But those are the people that are contributing a lot to the stigma because they don't want to know what it tastes like and feels like to have a mental health condition, addiction, or whatever's going on with them. So I want to get all, as you can see, the three amigos of mental health to help and support one another and be good friends, amigos.
Yeah, that's a great message, bringing everybody together. People that need help, the people that are available to help, and the people that need to understand better what's going on.
Yeah, I came up with that in a psychiatric hospital on October 16th, 2014. And like I said, I'm 6.5 years now of getting, but now I have stayed mentally well for over 6.5 years with my wellness toolbox and my humor. This is what it's all about. I make it cool, fun, enjoyable. I make it sexy and engaging, interactive to talk and work on your mental health and your mental health challenges. And that's so important. So I am a different type of resource that's out there. But I'm not looking to take away anybody's jobs. I'm just I'm a different resource. That's all. And and that's really how it is because I really believe I can relate to the audience. And when you can relate to your client, I work for a psychiatric hospital right now. I used to be an inpatient at, and the first words I always ask people that are suffering, what are you doing to keep yourself busy? That is the biggest thing. That if you do nothing all day, that mind's going to go off in this thing right here. It's going to go off in negativity. And it's going to go off in so many bad ways. You got to put together a to-do list. That's part of the wellness tool. You got to keep yourself busy. You go to the library when they start opening, or go do some stuff on the internet. Take walks around your block. Whatever it is, you got to keep yourself busy, and that's what I do, and that's one of the what I say in my workshop presentation.
That's great. Yeah, I once heard there's some motivational speaker who said that he said you got to fill your calendar, like you don't want to have an empty calendar. Fill your calendar with stuff, and it doesn't have to be important stuff. It doesn't have to be important meetings. Just something to do at every block on the calendar.
Exactly. No, I totally agree with that. Totally agree with that. You can do deep breathing exercises. There's so many things you can do. I just tell them, but you got to keep yourself busy. I hate when I'm trying to email someone for several days, they don't get back to me, or if I call them, they don't get back to me, and then they say, "Oh, I've been busy." I say, "Were you able to go to the bathroom during the day?" Yeah. Well, then you're not that busy because you were able to do that. And then I tell you, take off the word busy. You see the word busy? It's spelled what? B-U-S-Y, right? So get rid of the B, B-U-S-Y. So get rid of the, get rid of the B-U-S, get rid of the, now I forgot the joke. Busy, B-U-S-Y. And what am I?
If you get rid of the U and the Y,
get rid of the U and the Y, and what do you get?
Yeah, BS.
Thank you. Because I hate when people say they're busy. No, you're not busy. I'm not a priority for someone that you want to contact right now. That's what you're telling me. So
yeah,
but I'm writing a lot of comedy material right now. I'm writing so much for Mr. Staying Alive, for myself. I'm an observationist. That's what I do. I observe certain things, and I come up with certain things that is amazing. And again, it's just about I just want to help people, and I got to get that book out. That's the most important thing, Doctor. I got to get that book out, and then hopefully someone will do a documentary on me, and then do a movie, and maybe I can save some more people.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, thank you again, Michael Weitzman. Thank you for joining me.
And don't forget, you have your homework. The three things that you came up with, those comedians, the lady, and the stuff before that, don't forget, send that to me.
Yeah, I'm going to send you links to, sorry, just getting in the car. These bugs are killing me. They're biting my ankles. No, I'm going to send you everything. I remember I'm going to send you links to everything.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah, this is great. Yeah, I'm going to edit this podcast down, and it's going to be, there's a ton of good material. It's going to sound really smooth and good. I just, I go second by second through the audio file and put it all together.
Sounds good to me, man.
So, oh, my feet. I thought it'd be nice to stand in the park, but something's biting me.
And just to let you know, in the movie Patch Adams, at the end of the movie, he wasn't going to get he was there wasn't going to graduate because the guy said his diagnosis was excessive happiness. That's what I got. Excessive happiness from Patch
Oh
Adams.
yeah, yeah. That was a good movie. I only remember a couple of scenes. I remember that gynecology thing. That was funny.
Well, the best part to me is when he's in the cancer ward with the children. That's when he comes
Oh
up.
yeah,
That's when he comes up with the red nose, and people have children have cancer, and he's what improving their quality of life and making them laugh, interacting with them, engaging with them, and they're having the best time of their life. And then he came up with the red nose, and I lose it all the time
yeah.
when I see that movie. I get very emotional because
Do,
he's
do you
so.
know that guy? I can't remember the guy's name. There's that guy that I think he was a doctor or a psychologist or something, but he came up with the idea of watching tons of funny movies to overcome illness, and he had like some kind of terminal cancer, and kept watching like the Three Stooges or something, and just tons of funny stuff. But I can't remember his name. He's famous for that, for laughter being the best medicine or something like that.
Mhm. I don't know who that is, but if you find out, you let me know.
Let me I could probably find him in a second. He's
I
like
just
really
lost your
like the big
face.
authority.
All right, I just lost your
Last
face. I don't see
is
you.
it best? I'm gonna come. Give me 1 second. I'm looking up the guy, but I just want to tell you
Oh,
this guy's
okay.
name. He's like the who originally said, no, it's not that guy. Oh, here it is, Norman Cousins. He was a journalist and a professor. Um, yeah, Norman Cousins, but
Okay.
he's like the guy known for popularizing that of using humor to overcome serious illness, like even physical illness.
Are you going to remember these four things that
Oh yeah,
you?
yeah, I'll remember them. Even if I don't, it's all on record. I recorded the whole thing, so if I forget it, I'll just go back and listen to us.
That, yeah, I'm a sticky kid. I use sticky pads for everything. I use that for sticky pad for my brain to think of things. So yeah, I really
Yeah.
appreciate you doing this, man. It looks like you're having, you looks like you're doing well there in Florida, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. Nice weather. I mean, it's a little bit hot right now, but yeah, I like the parks here. I actually I've been dropping my daughter off at her friends every day. So, oh, there's a giant iguana climbing a tree over there.
Oh
I
boy,
don't know if I could turn. I probably can't show you that. Oh wait,
a hornet's
I don't
nest.
know if you can. Let me see if I can. He's probably
Oh,
gonna run if I go close to him. Do you see him?
what am I looking for?
Oh, he's an iguana climbing that tree.
No, I don't see him. Oh, there he is. I see
Oh,
him.
yeah, big green iguana.
Mike, yeah, we don't have that here in New York. No
Yeah, they're
iguanas.
like yeah, they're pests here. I mean, they're beautiful, but I guess they eat everything, poop on everything. But
Oh, you can have one of those and you can use that as a wellness tool.
yeah, you know what they call them. When it gets cold, they freeze and they fall out of the trees. And there's people that eat them, and
Oh,
there's people that cook them. So they call them chicken of the trees.
oh my God, that's sad. I don't like that. Wow.
Yeah, but yeah, mostly though they're just kind of in fact, I mean I wouldn't be able to zoom in, but I see like at least two of them over there. There's the one that went up the tree, two more. These big giant green iguanas everywhere here.
Amazing. Totally amazing. So you're
Yeah.
going to edit it, so that's why it's no problem.
Oh yeah, yeah. Don't worry about any glitches. Even like where the audio cuts out or whatever. I kind of paste it together and cut out the little glitches and everything. And
Okay.
yeah, people usually when they listen back to the podcast, they're like, "Oh wow, that sounded way better than I thought it did." I'm like, "Yeah, because of the editing."
Right.
So,
How long have
but
you
yeah,
been
and don't
doing?
worry about
How long have you been doing the podcast?
um a while longer than I should have more episodes. It's been about 3 years, but
Wow.
I ended up getting down to a rate of doing like one a month, and then recently, let me close it. Recently I've been publishing like every 2 or 3 months. Just I kind of trailed off a little bit. Like I was getting ready just to give up on it because I just got so busy with work. But yeah, like whenever something really good comes up, like an interview with you and something really worth publishing, then I'll go back and do another episode and put it up. Just because the editing takes so long, and
Yeah.
it's really labor intensive, and there's no way to get someone else to do it the right way. You can pay someone to edit, but they're not going to do a good job.
It's I so much want to have my own, but then there's a part of me that says, Michael, it's so much easier if you just become the guest and tell your story that way, because because then you're gonna have to have new material all the time. It's a lot of
Yeah,
work for a podcast. It really is a lot of work.
yeah, but you could. I mean, if you can do it though. I mean, in fact, I'm on a network. I'm going to start branching off and doing my own separate one. But I'm on the Mental Health News Radio Network, and they originally that was going to be an issue because they were charging for me. I had to pay for them to edit and everything, to do
Mm.
the editing and publishing, and then finally they said, if you do it all yourself, you don't have to pay us anything. So I'm kind of like free now, but I just do my own stuff, and I could pay them to edit, or I could hire my own separate editor. But yeah, I just like to do it all myself. But you don't even have to really edit. I mean, if you're comfortable with how things sound, you can just kind of put it up there as is. Just write a little description and publish. It's pretty easy to do.
Someone told me to
But
try StreamYard. StreamYard is another, instead of Zoom, StreamYard is another thing that's easy to use. I mean, I'm not looking to start anything yet, but I mean, I got so much going on, which is good. But I gotta did you ever write a book?
not really. I write tons of blog posts, and I'm up to,
Right.
usually I do 2 to 3,000 words. So I once did a compilation where I took all my best blog posts and put them into a book, and I made an ebook on Amazon.
That's great.
Yeah, but I've never actually put together like a kind of a real book of just writing it all the way through.
And are you a psychiatrist, or what is your exact
Oh,
title?
I'm family practice, but I only do addiction treatment now.
You do what?
I only do addiction treatment now.
Addiction treatment. Okay. So you've heard of
Yeah, but
you've heard of Dr. Rob Kelly then?
it sounds familiar. Yeah.
All right. There's I become a good friend of his. It's just amazing. I went on his show as Michael Weitzman, and I just did a show with him as Mrs. He didn't want me; he wanted Mrs. Staying Alive. So, and we become really close friends, and he's endorsing me. He's telling me I'm a celebrity, and it's really nice to get endorsed by people, because I really do believe I have a gift, and I want to make a difference in people's lives. So it's amazing stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, you might actually like. I mean, if you don't know Frank King, you might think it's interesting to follow him. He's on LinkedIn also, and
Right.
I mean, he's been out there. For a while. I think he was performing on cruise ships. Although I think he kind of burned that bridge because in the beginning of COVID, he got caught on this one. I think that ship that was kind of famous for they couldn't find a country that would accept them right in the beginning of COVID. They were going from one port to another, getting turned away. He was on that ship working, and they finally ended up, I think, in like Thailand or some Asian country, and they sequestered them, and they said we have to test everybody, and then we have to test everyone again, and they kept testing them. He started freaking out, thinking the longer I stay here, the more likely it is I'm going to get COVID. So he left on his own, and by leaving, everybody attacked him on it, and the cruise line fired him and kind of blacklisted him for that kind of job. Although he's doing fine now. I mean, he does a ton of other stuff. He does,
All right.
performs on stage. He does like a dental consultation. He does like a thing where, like one of those medical education things where they provide CME credits. Like dentists can get credit for that. Like dentists who need like a suicide hour of education for their board.
Yeah.
He does that, but he does a comedy version of it. But yeah, he's like found all kinds of ways like to do different kinds of consulting and things of doing things. And but yeah, I mean, he's interesting. He's got like some TED Talks, so you can see him up on stage talking. And
Yeah, that's what I'm,
but
I'm
I
working on
like.
doing a TED talk. Got to do that.
Oh yeah, TEDx. Yeah, I mean, you could definitely do that. In fact, he has a thing where he's doing like a consulting thing where he says he'll get you ready for your TED, but you don't really need that. I mean, you're already ready for it.
I'm totally ready for a tag. They have something called the Tag Awards. They have the TED and TEDx.
Yeah.
But
But I think definitely what you're doing is unique with the physical humor combined. Just all the props and the physical humor.
I
Because he
use a lot
doesn't
of
do that.
props. I use a lot of
Yeah.
when I do a seminar. I'm going to do my first seminar to my own hospital. Oh my God, it's going to be hilarious because what? Let me put it this way: if you want to be educated and you want to be inspired and you want to laugh a little bit, that if you can engage the audience, interact with the audience, that's going to win. You're going to win that way. You're going to nail it. They're going to listen to you. You're making it fun. You're making it enjoyable to talk about mental health and addiction in a fun,
Yeah.
instructive way. And that's what I do. So yes, I am unique in that end. And Mrs. Staying Live is the character that's also part of that as well. So I got a lot of stuff here,
Yeah.
and I just need to get on TV. I'm trying to get on Tamron Hall and the doctors, Dr. Oz,
Yeah.
all
Dr. Oz is a good one. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good one to pursue, Dr. Oz.
I I keep sending stuff, but it's not easy. It's
Actually,
not easy.
if you end up talking to Pamela Weibel, the suicide doctor, she was on Dr. Oz. That was like a big deal that she finally got on to his show for a few minutes.
Wow. Well,
But
all these
yeah,
things that
that's a
all your things that you're saying, send them to me. I will research them because that can help me more with my exposure.
oh yeah, definitely. Anything I can think of. Were you ever a fan of Gallagher? Remember Gallagher with the watermelons?
Yeah, with the watermelon. Yeah, and I was fan. I don't definitely don't want to break a brain or anything like that. But Carrot Top was very popular for a while. That's what
Oh
I.
yeah.
So he's very creative of his props. He's all about props, and I just think having props, you know, I start my workshop like this. I say, take your mask off to mental health conditions. Everything has a meaning. These are the gloves I use to try to take my life. This was when I was in the psychiatric hospital. I get these little toiletry bags. Isn't that beautiful? So I use everything, man. So I got so many props. It's so much fun, and I think you can learn better. There's two. I call it this way. When I was 17 years old, I felt there's two ways that you can learn when you're 17. That the teacher makes it fun when they educate you. They make it humorous and they make it fun. Or that your teacher is good looking. That's another way I was able to learn.
Yeah.
I have
That's good.
those testosterones are going crazy at the age of 17.
Well, you know the poster because on my screen your picture is tiny. It almost looks like ET. I mean, I can see it's a guy with a sombrero, but you
That's
almost can
me.
see it looking like I. Oh, that's you.
That's me. That's my poster.
Oh, oh. I mean, it's really small. It's small on my screen because you're like in a little rectangle like this, and the poster's like this.
It says the three amigos of mental health: stopping out stigma, acceptance, wellness tools, a solution to your mental health challenges, props, passion, and using humor and laughter as medicine.
Can you send me a picture of that when you have a chance?
Sure. I'll, se- I'll send it to you on linked. I got all that stuff. It's great. Yeah, you can even put that in if you wanted to put that into the
Oh yeah. I need to buy like
that
a
in the
whole thing to read.
podcast if you wanted to.
Yeah, because I'm gonna do an intro later. I'm gonna do an intro, and I need like a whole bio of all
Oh,
everything to read about you.
I'll send you. Definitely send you the picture on that one. I'd rather
Okay.
email it to you if you don't mind. I have your
Oh,
email, right?
I think so. It's just DRLEEDS. It looks like drleeds@gmail.com.
Did I ever email you my information or no? I never emailed you
I,
stuff.
I'm not sure, but I have your email. I can send you an email.
Okay, send me an email and then I'll send you the poster and then you're gonna send me all the great people that you thought of that I don't remember at this moment.
Okay.
Beautiful, man. So go have fun in Florida. My daughter, where are you in Florida?
Right now I'm in Hollywood, but we live in Fort Lauderdale.
My daughter lives in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So same area. Yeah.
Yep. She is enjoying Florida. You can't compare Jersey Shore beaches to Florida beaches.
Oh,
Nope.
yeah. Definitely. Yeah, you can actually walk on these beaches pretty much anytime.
And if you do me a favor, if you want to give me your address, I'll send you some bipolar gum and I'll send you some brains.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah, I'll send you my address on LinkedIn or email.
Yeah, because I just sent the whole mess to Dr. Rob Kelly, the gum, and I just think it's fun. whatever. I have 1,000 of them, of the brains. So,
Oh, wow.
and these I got. This is Wrigley spearmint gum, and I put on here bipolar mint gum, and then on the other side it says, Bip Olar no longer, and then my email.
Oh, that's like we have this carton of milk in our refrigerator. It had a picture of a cow and it said grass fed. And just to make my kids laugh, I put a little white piece of paper and I taped it over the GR just so it said ass fed. Yeah, everybody liked that.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, I have a sign that says, "I'm losing weight, but it keeps finding me."
Oh, that's good.
It's cute. I love all these things. I eat it up. All the kind of funny humor stuff, and I'm really, you know, I'm really thankful. About a lot of different things, man. And I will get that day that I'll get on TV. Then it's gonna be a snowball effect that everybody's gonna want me on there, and hopefully, because my goal is to speak and perform everywhere with my workshop. It's take it not
Yeah.
just from the podcast, not just from the conferences, not just from the webinars, but do it and to a point that I'm getting paid to speak and perform at schools, hospitals, mental health clinics, MHA, NAMI, and then all the other places, and especially, like I said, organizations. That would be so big for their productivity at Walmart, Amazon, all these companies, you know, be great. But I have, but
Oh, that.
I say to you, you have to be patient. You have to be patient.
Yeah. I mean, if you get the right person representing you, maybe like the right press agent or whatever kind of person does
I
that.
don't have an
I
agent
mean,
yet.
yeah, you can get all those jobs. Definitely those corporate jobs. I mean,
No.
definitely there's a lot of those out there.
Well, I say this. If you're not, this, I always say this in tongue in cheek. If you're not patient, you'll become impatient.
Oh yeah, yeah. Not to mention every rehab in the country. I mean, or I mean, there's so many millions of thousands of these places that need speakers to come in and additional material to provide the patients.
The only problem with the mental health field and the mental health clinics and the mental health hospitals, they don't pay very well.
Oh yeah, I can imagine that. I mean, they pay themselves really well, but probably not people
But for
coming
the
in.
but for the time being, since I'm on Social Security disability, so I can't go over a certain amount for the time being, unless I get paid five
Yeah,
thousand or 10,000. Someone's gonna pay me $5,000 or 10,000. That's okay. I'll give back the Social Security disability insurance. But that's the key. I want to speak and perform to all over, all
yeah,
organizations, and just be like I say, and I keep saying it. I'm not taking anyone's job away. I'm just being a different, relatable resource. That's it. And getting them to try different types of wellness tools and try humor as my biggest wellness tool.
yeah. You're just like something additional. Like they used to say that about me. Like patients would come to me and their primary care doctor would say, "Well, who's this other doctor? Is he an addiction specialist?" And like, well, no, he treats addiction, but he's not in that. He's like a family doctor. And they're like, "Well, I'm a family doctor." Well, so then I would tell them like, just consider me like a secondary primary or like a co-primary.
Right.
And so the way I think of it, being into computer science and stuff, I think like, well, you have your CPU, and then later on they add a co-processor, like, oh, here's the math co-processor to do the extra math on the side, or here's the video processor on the side to do the video. So like, we're just like an adjunct, like an extra thing added on to everything else that you have.
Have you ever had a mental health condition or suicide thoughts or addiction?
Oh, mainly just extreme anxiety, panic attacks,
Anxiety.
that kind of thing.
All right. But let me ask you, do you remember a show from 1965 to 1970? I don't know how old you are. Do you ever do you remember the show Get Smart
um
with
i
Maxwell
I
Smart?
know of it, but yeah, I don't know if I've seen it, but I know what it is. Yeah.
I do a very good imitation of Maxwell Smart. And I'm trying to contact Mel Brooks. I'm really trying to. I can't get him. And if you probably remember Inspector Gadget, if you're a little younger, but
Oh
God,
yeah.
And it goes like this. Would you believe the shoe phone? That's right, 99. Missed it by that much. Sorry about that, Chief. I do it really well. That's my
That's
only.
perfect.
Yeah, I do it very well for Don Adams, Maxwell Smart. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, that's you should do more impressions. That's really good. That's perfect.
I'm
It
trying
sounds
to do
just
a
like him.
commercial. I'm trying to do a commercial for Glass Plus or Windex, but I need to speak to Mel Brooks. But he's not as young. He's 96 years old. He's not getting back to me.
Yeah,
I don't have any
yeah,
connection.
you got to find like the new Mel Brooks. Yeah, what's that guy? The guy that does the Family Guy show. He's really good. Forgot his name. He does. Um, but yeah, you maybe find like the new up and coming Mel Brooks.
Yeah. Well, I'm also trying to contact Tyler Perry and call Mrs. Staying Live the White Medea.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's true.
Because Tyler Perry is crushing it right now. He's got so
Yeah,
many shows that he has his own production studio. He's amazing, totally amazing.
yeah,
So I don't want to let you go. I
yeah.
know you got work to do, but thank you for having on my show. When you get it all edited, obviously send me the link. I appreciate it. I will push it everywhere. I will promote you. I've been on your show. I will go all over LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, all over the place. Of course, Facebook.
Yeah, that'll be great. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, and I'm also, of course, I'm going to promote it uh, everywhere also. So yeah, that'll be great.
And then since you got this, you'll copy down and send me your address so I can send you some stuff, and then send me the names of those amazing people that might be some interest to me that I should contact.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm going to send you all that stuff. Definitely.
And here's my other mask.
Oh, that's a good one. That one you can wear out.
My own supervisor actually thinks she went to me and she doesn't want me to wear that in the psychiatric hospital. I go, why? She says, because I'm making fun of COVID. And I'm saying, where am I making fun of COVID by putting a red nose on a mask? Okay. I don't get it. I don't. But can't do that. But I wear it other places. Again,
Can you wear it underneath, like kind of just showing over the top?
nah,
It wouldn't work.
go that way and it doesn't
Yeah,
work.
yeah, go the other way. No, it won't work.
No, nope. But I'm just trying to get that really. I need a break. I need that really big break. Like you said, I want to get on Kelly Clarkson. That's a big show as well. I'd like to get on Ellen before she retires next year. Her show is done next year. I'm trying to get on Oprah. No,
Yeah,
Oprah's still doing a
yeah. Don't
lot of
forget.
different shows.
Oh, what's her name? Drew Barrymore. She's got a show.
I've been
Um,
contacting Drew as well. I contact Drew.
yeah.
Wendy Williams. No, and Dr. Phil has turned into like Jerry Springer.
Oh, yeah.
He's not even a real doctor, but he does these things like Jerry Springer does. It's ridiculous. But I don't like Dr. Phil because last time when someone came on that had a mental health condition, do you know what he said to the guy? He said,
What?
"Man up, man up,
Oh, that's
man
not
up."
right.
Right. So the day that Dr. Phil gets divorced and he's feeling a little down, I'm gonna go to him and say, "Hey, Dr. Phil, man up, buddy, man up."
Yeah,
You don't
that's
say
that's
man
like
up.
that. That's like the guy, Dr. Drew. That he has popularized the 12-step recovery, but he's against medical treatment for addiction. Which leads to people overdosing and dying. When people think they shouldn't get medical treatment, they end up going and overdosing. And it's
Wow.
uh, that 12-step rehab type thing only works for a small percentage of people. It doesn't work for everybody. More people are helped by medical treatment. And so yeah, it's not good when you have like a celebrity out there promoting the thing that doesn't work.
Right. Well, no, I just feel on the movie. You know the movie Moonstruck, right?
I haven't seen it. I've heard of it.
You never. Well, in that movie, it's Cher. Cher hits Nicolas Cage in the face. She goes like this and says, "Snap out of it." So when someone goes to me about my mental health condition and says those words, Those are not good words I want to hear. If I was able to snap
Oh
out
yeah.
of it, why would I suffer and suffer in silence on and off for 40 years? Come on. It's not as easy. There is no magic pill. There's no magic psychiatrist. There's no magic therapist. You have to work with all of these things with wellness tools to get to the promised land. And thank God I'm there.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, amazing. All right, so I got to run. Been a pleasure. Let me know all the stuff I talked about. You got it on here if you have to look back at the video, and I'll send me your address, like I said, so I can send you some of my brains and some of my gum.
Okay.
I'm
Okay,
not gonna
sounds
send
good.
you I'm not gonna send you the mental joy. That's gonna melt.
Oh yeah, yeah,
That won't work. Not in Florida.
yeah.
All right.
So, okay, sounds good. Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's great having you on the podcast. I'll definitely send you everything. Thank you.
Great. Thanks for
Okay.
having me, man.
Okay, thanks. Okay, bye.
Bye bye.